Hello, this is the design video for the Hamster fitness device case. For the main video, click the link in the description. So we're going to make a Hamster fitness device container. So I've done a few things. I've made a stand-in for the display. I've made a stand-in for the Arduino, which is an Adafruit feather. And I've made a stand-in for the top of the hamster wheel holder, on which we can put the fitness tracker. So we're going to start with a small box, and we're going to work into the top of the bottom of the box. We're going to put everything in. So I'm going to go with something that's, let's say, about 70 millimeters wide, right? So we're going to go 3 centimeter deep, 70 millimeters wide. So this is the bottom of our tracker. We're not going to make it too wide, because then everything isn't going to work. So this is the base, and we're going to cut some stuff out. Okay, so this is our base where we're going to work in. And I'm going to put I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to drag it all the way here. Right, so let's place this one in the, oh, it's already in the middle. So this is the bottom, and we want this to be just 1 millimeter from the edge, right? Because that's all the space we have. Going to go very close to the edge, so this is 2.5 millimeters from the edge. Let's go 1 millimeter back. Right, so this should be sturdy enough for like the outside. And if I look at it, it's about 1 millimeter we have. Should be thick enough. Okay, so everything is going to rest on this thing. Right. So what we can do is make sure that we remove this. And I'm going to take this out. There we go. Now we have our little box on top of which we're going to do things. Right. We're going to put this away for a minute. I'm going to put this away exactly 50 millimeters away. I'm going to make another box which is the same dimensions, but it's going to be a lot higher. We're going to make this, let's make it 70 high. Right, but we need it to be hollow, because this thing is going to be on top of this. Right? So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to design this. So I'm going to go with a hollow design. Let's make this 26. So we're going to give 2 millimeters around the edges, and it's going to be 66 wide, and let's make it 66 high. Right, so this is going to be the thing we're going to cut out of this one. We're going to move it down 66. Actually, we're going to move it 66, and we're going to have 4 millimeters at the bottom, which is good. So now we have a hollow cube, hollow box, in which we're going to put these things. Okay, so this is going to get mounted on top of this. So I'm thinking I should make some slots that will slot in this device. I'm going to make 8 by 8 by 4. couple of those. 15 to the left, 15 to the right. There we go. This will be where this thing is mounted on top of. Right. We're gonna merge these. No, we're gonna copy these. And we're gonna go down. And we're going to go into this one. There we go. So now this one's going to get these 4 boxes removed. So let's just do this from the bottom. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do it. So now I have 4 holes in the bottom. We're going to add these to the other one. So it's going to do this. So this box will stack on top of this. Right? So now we have enough room for everything we need. Now, on top of this, we have a couple of millimeters of space, right? So this is this height, which is 10 millimeters high. Now we're going to measure this one, which is 20 millimeters high. So we got one centimeter on top of this, and then this is another 7 centimeters. So it's about 8. So we're going to stack this on top of this one. Go up 2 centimeters. There we go. So now they're all grouped together. So this will be on top of your thing. But I'm looking at this and thinking this is a bit high, right? So we're going to lower this a bit because we don't really need this to be this high. We're going to go down 30. Should be fine. Right, so now we got 4 centimeters high box, which has 1 centimeter high bottom, which is hooked up to the bottom piece. I think we can do this a bit better by going down 2 with these two. We're going to go down 1/2 centimeter. Oh wait, that won't work. Oh, it was 4 millimeters at the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna lower the other ones too. Right, so now it's just 2 millimeters at the bottom. Okay, so we got about 4 centimeters of working space, and this needs to fit everything. Right, so let's see if this fits. I'm gonna copy our stand-in Arduino. It needs to be on the side. Near the top. Right? And then on the outside, there needs to be a hole for the You know what? We can do more stuff with this. We can turn it. Here we go. All right, so we have our Arduino, which is going to be upside down. It's going to be facing down anyway. And we're going to lower it a bit down into it. So we need like a cover on the top, right? and we need something to hook this into. So the power can come from the top. That's where our USB is going to hook up to. Because we don't want the hamster to nibble on the wire. So inside we're going to have some small things. So it's 2 millimeters, and it's about 10. Let's do 14 just for. And let's do. How wide is this? So let's put the pins in. That will show us how much space we actually have. I'm gonna copy this. So we got our pins, which are a little bit big in this display, but just move them in a bit. So that's about the space we have. Right, so we're going to need to put the display in. Right, so we're gonna turn it. .90 Move it on up. And we kind of want the display to be in the middle. So maybe we should not do it in the middle. So we need there to be a hole, and we need it to be a little bit offset. So we have enough space in the bottom for this to work. Let's just put it over here. There we go. It's going to be cut out from here. And from what I can see, the power connectors are at the bottom, at the top of the display. So the connectors are going to be on the top of this thing, right? So we're going to subtract that. So we have we have the point for the display, right? Subtract this. Now we have our display point, right? And we're going to probably hot glue this in place. Just want to get enough space for everything. And we need to make a box top. And we need to have that snugly fit. And we need to have the sensor position. So what I'm thinking is, in my mock-up device, I have it about, let's see, about 3 centimeters from the axle of the wheel. So we're gonna make something that will allow us to do this. It's going to be a box. It's going to be 30 high. And that's all I want it to do. So about there. Right, so I'm going to put a box on top of this, which is about 4 by 4 by 4. This will be enough for our sensor to get through. And we're going to punch that out of our box. Right, so that's where our sensor is going to be. And you need to make sure you glue that in the right position, right? Okay, so we got our Arduino is going to be here. Then our display is going to be here. Our sensor is going to be here. And that should be enough for everything. Now we still need to have need to know where the power supply is supposed to go. So let's make a top 370, and it's going to be how big? Let's just make it this first. You can always make it bigger. Yeah, so it's about 15 millimeters above this. So 60 should be enough. Right, and then we need to go down about 50. Wait. So 26. 66. And that should be fine. Let's go down. So let's make a top where it is like 2 millimeters in the top. Wait, let's make it 1 millimeter. We don't need that much on the top. Let's make it as light as possible. Right, so now we have our top box. We're going to flip it around. degrees. So now we have the top of our box. Now I want to be able to get to this fast if I need to. So gluing this might not be the best idea. Although at first we can just, put everything in. But I eventually want to add stuff or maybe add more sensors or stuff like that. So I'm going to design a little catch where I can put these together. So I'm going to lift it a bit. And what can I do? What can I do? Our display is going to be here, so I can't really, put something in there. Although it's only going to be like 6 millimeters on top of this, so. Or I could just put tape around it. That could also be a solution. That might be the best option for now. But I still need to punch a hole in the top for the USB. So let's just do this first. And the USB is about eight millimeters wide. So let's make it 8. I'm going to do another 8. And that should be fine. So I'm going to move this here from the edge. I'm going to move this down a little bit. Now we're going to remove this part. There we go. So this will allow me to get access to the USB. That'll be down. Great, so this will be our box where the Hamster fitness device is going to be in. Right, so you can look in. So we got the slots in the bottom. We can friction fit it. That could work. Let's do that. Let's do that. So we're going to move it off a little bit. Right? Let's move it 10 millimeters exactly. We're going to put a small box on top of this one. It's going to be, width is going to be 2 because we want it 2 millimeters. This is the center. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. This is going to be 2 millimeters. Snap. And we're going to do 10. And it's going to be 10 high. Right, so now we have our little box. And we're going to move this over a little bit. There we go. So this is going to be your clip, which is going to fit into this thing. So we're going to slide this on top of the other one. And we might do the same thing on the other side. And I want to add another box on top of this, which is going to be a little bit bigger. So let's make this 12. And it's going to be 2 millimeters wide. And it's going to be 5 millimeters high. We're going to move this down. Right, so we got a T thing. Oh, not subtract. These are merged, and now we can chamfer these edges. Fillet or chamfer. Want to make them edgy. Right, so we're going to do the other side. Let's do chamfer again. There we go. That looks nice. And we're going to do that at the top as well. Right, so this clip will take care of all the support we need. Let's copy this. Let's paste it and move it away. Exactly 78 millimeters, and then it should be on the edge of that thing. So let's move this one up. It's on the edge. Okay, cool. Now we're going to copy these again. We're going to move them sideways 10 and then up 10. So they're in our other box, right? And now we can remove these parts, which will now fit into the other case. So I'm going to add these to the bottom case. Right, so now they're hooked up. And now I can move this one down. So now we got our friction fit done. This should allow us to access this device pretty easily and modify it later. Okay, so let's make sure we save everything. So we got our box with the display in here, which we're going to glue because I'm not going to keep moving it. And we got our Arduino. Let's just move this off. $50 and then down. 60. Okay, so we got a couple of parts we need to print. We don't need this to print. We don't need this. We don't need this. Right, so we need this top part to print. We might have to make a new version of this, but that's not a problem. And it needs to go down 2 centimeters. There we go. So we got the bottom part, which is going to hang on top of the wheel, and we can glue this to the wheel. Then we got our sensor compartment with our display and our Arduino place. Right, so we might need to glue this in place, put a little bit of hot glue in the bottom, and then put the Arduino on top. Then we have our top over here, right? And we actually don't need these other parts, but we're going to leave them in the file because we might have to make a new version of this. Right, but for now, I'm going to make STL files, and I'm going to print them. So I'm going to remove everything except for the lid. Lid. And I'm going to remove the lid and the top thing. Our fitness mount, and then the box. Right, so now I have everything back. I can save the file. I'm going to print.